Hello and welcome. You're watching News9 Live with me, Neha Khanna. Big focus on the show today is the continuing protests by India's top wrestlers. In a dramatic and extremely sad turn of events, India's top wrestlers, who have been protesting for weeks now, have taken their protests from Delhi to Haridwar in Uttarakhand. This after they took the decision to immerse their medals in the Ganga river. They say even though their lives would have no meaning after losing the hard-earned medals, they cannot continue to compromise their self-respect. In a joint letter, the protesting wrestlers have said, and I quote, "It seems these medals decorated around our necks have no meaning anymore. It was killing us just thinking of returning these medals, but what use is a life lived compromising on your self-respect? We don't need these medals anymore because this system does its own propaganda by hanging them around our necks and putting a mask on us. They then exploit us and put us in jail if we protest." The wrestlers go on to say, "Our oppressor was at the inauguration of the new Parliament building in dazzling white clothes, getting pictures clicked. This white was stinging us as if it was saying, 'I am the system.'" They go on to say, "We women wrestlers feel there is nothing left for us in this country. We are recalling the moments when we won at the Olympics and the World Championships. The police and the system are treating us as criminals, while the harasser openly attacks us in public meetings." This strongly worded letter was tweeted by India's top wrestlers, including Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Fogart, and Bajrang Punia. And that's not all. The wrestlers have also announced that they will sit on a fast unto death at the iconic India Gate in Delhi. The wrestlers have been protesting against BJP MP and chief of the country's wrestling federation, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. 7 women wrestlers, including a minor, have accused Brij Bhushan Singh of sexually harassing them. They have been protesting against inaction on part of the Delhi police and the government. While an FIR has been registered against Brij Bhushan Singh, the wrestlers are demanding his sacking and arrest. On Sunday, we witnessed the heartbreaking scenes of the country's medal-winning wrestlers and Olympic champions, most of them women, being manhandled, shoved around, pinned to the ground, dragged, lifted off the road and bundled into buses by the Delhi police. The shocking images soon flooded the social media, triggering massive outrage and condemnation for the high-handedness of the police. The question is there any hope left for justice in this case? Is this what India's Olympic champions and heroes deserve? These are the live visuals coming in of the protests in Haridwar, where the wrestlers say they are going to immerse their medals into the Ganga.
जो हमारा कुश्तीगीर है वो लोगों ने उसको इतना पिटाया इतना उसका साथ मारपीट किया कि हमारा देश का सम्मान आज मिट्टी में लुट गया। तो मैंने वो लोगों के साथ बात किया था दोपहर को कि मैं बोला कि आप लोगों के साथ में हम लोग हैं और आपका पूरा हम सपोर्ट करेंगे। आप जो मेडल जीता वो तो आपका परफॉर्मेंस के लिए, देश के लिए वो मेडल आपका गौरव का बात है। तो आप मूवमेंट कीजिए, हम भी हमारा आपका साथ है, हम भी सॉलिडारिटी पूरा है। हम कल हमारा यूथ मिनिस्टर को, स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्टर को बोला है कि कल थोड़ा स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन को लेके एक रैली बनाए सॉलिडारिटी जनाने के लिए हाजरा मोड़ से रविंद्र सरोवर तक।
का ये फैसला बहुत ही दर्दनाक, अफसोसनाक कहा जाए कि जिन बेटियों ने कहा जाए कि अपनी मेहनत से, अपनी कोशिश से देश का नाम रोशन किया सारी दुनिया में, उनके साथ जिस तरह का सलूक जो वर्तमान सरकार है वो कर रही है, उनकी जो पीड़ा है उसको सुनने को कोई तैयार नहीं है। और ऐसे हालात में मायूस होकर जो फैसला उन लोगों ने लिया है वो हम सब के लिए, पूरे देशवासियों के लिए चिंता का विषय है।
बहुत ही तकलीफ की बात है और मैं ये समझता हूं कि पहलवानों के साथ, हमारे नौजवानों के साथ, खासतौर पर जो बच्चियां हैं उसके अंदर, उनके साथ जिस तरह की ज्यादती हुई है, उसके पास जिस तरह से सरकार जो है आंख बंद करके बैठी हुई है, ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे कोई उनका पुरसाने हाल ही नहीं है। और जो जुल्म हुआ अभी 29 तारीख को, जिधर पार्लियामेंट का इफ्तिताह किया जा रहा था और दूसरी तरफ उनको उठा के और मारपीट करके उनको गाड़ियों में भर के गिरफ्तार किया गया, उनका तंबू खाड़ दिए गए, ये देश के अंदर कोई अच्छा साइन नहीं है। मुझे याद है कि मोदी जी ने इस बच्ची को बहुत सराहा था, उनमें से एक बच्ची को। आज वो बच्ची सबसे आगे नजर आ रही है और मोदी जी खामोश हैं। मैं समझता हूं प्रधानमंत्री को इसमें हस्तक्षेप करना चाहिए, इसमें मदाखलत करना चाहिए और इस मसले को हल करना चाहिए।
The wrestlers, they were arrested brutally. The government attitude, the Modi government, they are denying and rejecting to punish who are the culprits, that BJP MP and the president of the Wrestlers Association. The national-wide and international solidarity and support for their agitation, it is day-to-day picking up. They filed the cases against the wrestlers, women wrestlers. It is unfortunate, and also it is a totally authoritarian trend. It is continuing. The culprit of the BJP MP, he was not punished till now. It was they take weekdays time to file an FIR, but within the hours itself, the wrestlers the FIR was filed, and now the police and the central government, they are denying permission for the agitation Jantar Mantar. So they are totally in the capital of our country, the democracy. It was attacked and women has no safety. The government is denying.
महिला पहलवानों के साथ हो रहा है वो अत्यंत खेदजनक है। सरकार के द्वारा और विशेष रूप से प्रधानमंत्री जी के द्वारा जो समय समय पर महिला सशक्तिकरण की बात करते हैं, उनको सम्मान देने की बात करते हैं, और आज एक महीने से ज्यादा जो महिला पहलवान हैं वो जंतर मंतर पर धरना दे रही थी। कल उन्हें इतनी बदसलूकी के साथ में पुलिस ने गिरफ्तार किया और ये प्रधानमंत्री जी को चाहिए था कि इनसे वार्ता करते, इनकी समस्याओं का समाधान करते। जो इनकी मांग है उस पर विचार क्यों नहीं किया जा सकता? जो महिला उत्पीड़न के जो कानून है और ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट के अनेक आदेश हैं, पॉक्सो के अंतर्गत अपराधों में क्या कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, इस पे भी बहुत स्पष्ट निर्देश हैं और प्राविधान है, लेकिन फिर भी उनको बचाया जा रहा है, ब्रिज भूषण सिंह जी को। ये अत्यंत खेदजनक है।
All right, joining me on the show now is Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst who has been supporting the wrestlers' fight in the Supreme Court. Also with us is Gaurav Biduri, former Indian boxer. We're also hoping to be joined in a moment by Jagvati Sangwan, former Indian volleyball player. Gaurav Biduri, let me start with you. Not only have these wrestlers been on the streets for weeks now demanding practice in a sexual harassment case against a powerful man. On Sunday, we saw them being roughed up by the Delhi police. And today, things have reached such a pass that these wrestlers have decided to immerse their medals in the Ganga river. Now, Gaurav Bidhuri, as somebody who has won a medal for India in boxing, I'm sure you know what a medal means to an athlete. That it takes sweat, blood and tears to earn that medal for the country. Surely, things have become extremely frustrating and disillusioning for these protesting wrestlers. And they've come to a point of such utter despair that they are resorting to this extreme action. Do you not believe that, the government, the sports ministry in particular, needed to be more proactive so that things wouldn't have come to this pass?
Yes, ma'am, because like you said, I've also won a medal for the country, and ma'am, it just not our sweat or blood, ma'am. It takes our life to achieve this medal, this big medal for the country, ma'am. And after achieving that much, if these people and our wrestlers, if they are coming, they are going to this extent, means it's very very frustrating for them, ma'am. But ma'am, like in the last, like you said, in the last protest, whatever happened was, it was a mix, ma'am. Because if I speak like a sports person, ma'am, I'm totally in favor of them, ma'am. But if I just look around everything, what all has happened, ma'am, like a normal citizen, ma'am, it was in the last, like in the last interview I said, ma'am, there was, means both sides, means Delhi police ki taraf se bhi and from our side also, means dono ki taraf se there was some violations, ma'am. And like you said, it's taking too much time. Of course, like I should request to the government, like, to maintain our dignity, our sports person, हमको हमारी इज्जत भी बची रहे और हमारा जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है उसकी भी इज्जत बची रहे, तो जल्दी से जल्दी इसका डिसीजन आ जाए, मैम, कुछ.
बट गौरव, आप क्या कहेंगे आज सरकार को भी और रेसलर्स को जिन्होंने इस लेटर में लिखा है, एंड आई जस्ट वांट टू रीड इट आउट फॉर यू एंड आवर व्यूअर्स, सम ऑफ द एक्सर्प्ट्स फ्रॉम दिस लेटर. They are saying, we women wrestlers feel there is nothing left for us in this country. The police and the system are treating us as criminals while the harasser openly attacks us in public. We don't need these medals anymore because the system does its own propaganda by hanging them around our necks and putting a mask on us. They then exploit us and put us in jail if we protest. Now, clearly, Gaurav, they feel completely hopeless. Otherwise, why would any athlete who spent a lifetime earning that medal for themselves and the country take this extreme action of throwing it into the river? Why would somebody do that unless they'd lost all hope?
Yeah, like I said, the case, like it is at the extremist level, ma'am. That's why they thought of doing this. Otherwise, we just heard that, like, Muhammad Ali, he threw his medal in the river for some things, ma'am. Now we are just witnessing it, ma'am. And it's very like, we are unfortunate to see that, ma'am. But like in the previously, when they came up for the protest, ma'am, they were not getting their case registered, ma'am. But ultimately, it got registered, ma'am. And see, again, I'm saying, ma'am, because as an athlete, if I'll speak, I'll totally in favor of them, ma'am. But ma'am, just consider everyone as a normal citizen, ma'am. The case got registered, ma'am. Things are processing, okay. And see, अगर मेरी कोई तारीख होती है and there is some hearing, I can't just go over there and protest like मेरे को अगली hearing में मेरा decision चाहिए, ma'am. And ma'am, this is against some big politician, and of course it's gonna take. It's a very crucial case, ma'am. It's gonna take little bit of time, ma'am, है ना. So things will take not with a good pace, ma'am. But again, it will take they have to play very consciously, ma'am. They have to tackle every situations, very like delicately, ma'am. Like recently, there was an interview coming from Rohtak. There was one that Posco girl, the girl who filed a case against Brij Bhushan, who was minor, ma'am. So that guy is saying like there was some conspiracy against that girl, people manipulated her. So when these things are coming up, so step by step
You know,
things will go
I'm
on,
sorry
ma'am.
to say this, but the accused are generally known to resort to such tactics in all such cases. That the girl was manipulated, somebody did it for a political agenda. You know, those accusations are usually leveled by the accused. And it's a good thing that you mentioned Muhammad Ali, because we all know that that icon, who was, a legend even in his lifetime and a national sporting hero in the United States of America, he decided to throw his gold medal into the river to protest racism after he was asked to leave a restaurant because of the color of his skin. So yes, this is not unprecedented or unheard of. It's been done before, and such a measure is taken by an athlete only when they are completely bereft of hope. But Tehseen Poonawalla, government sources say, as far as throwing the medals into the river is concerned, well, the medals do not belong to the wrestlers alone, they belong to the country. The wrestlers played under the Indian flag, and hundreds of crores were spent on training the wrestlers, on their coaches and support staff, on getting them the best training, coaching and infrastructure facilities. And this money belongs to taxpayers. Government sources also argue that FIRs have been registered against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. The law is taking its own course, but the wrestlers are being unfair by demanding instant justice. Your thoughts on the tragic scenes that we are witnessing in Haridwar today?
Yeah, it's absolutely tragic. It's regretful. And I'm surprised that government sources are speaking and not the government officially. Because quite frankly, Neha, I don't understand who these sources are and what these sources are. This must be spoken by the government. So let's go to the fact one by one that you put out. The government sources, as you said the law is taking its own course. Nothing can be further than the truth. The institution, the organization founded by Kapil Sibal, Insaf Ke Sipai, of which I'm a part, is the one led by Kapil Sibal that went to the Honorable Supreme Court on behalf of these wrestlers when the FIR was not being registered. It took the Honorable Supreme Court to step in for the FIRs to be registered. It took somebody by the caliber of Sri Kapil Sibal to step in and get the FIRs registered. The FIRs were not being registered. They didn't just go to the Supreme Court. They went to every single forum available to them, including the Delhi police. Nobody filed an FIR. Number two, the law is taking its own course. Nia, may I ask you humbly, can you tell me, or this athlete who was speaking prior to you, who was trying to not take sides, can he or you tell me a single case, Neha, where an FIR has been registered under the POSCO Act, a statement has been given under 164. That statement corroborates exactly with the original complaint. No if, no but. The statement is exact as was in the original complaint under 164, and the person has not been arrested. It's under the POSCO Act. Now to come on your channel, Neha, and on your show, which I respect, and to say, I'm hearing that this girl has been misguided. What sort of things are we talking on national TV? I mean, are we now going to give credence on TV to what is spread on rumors or WhatsApp rumors that are spread? Here is a statement before a magistrate under 164 that matches the original complaint about this girl. A complaint that's been going on for months and months and months until Kapil Sibal stepped in under Insaf Ke Sipai and got the FIR. Tell me another case. Why is he not arrested so far? Why are these girls being beaten up? What have they done wrong? Doesn't Article 19 give us the fundamental right to protest? Are we shunned of Article 19? Doesn't Article 14 give us the right to equality and justice? Have we thrown that out in Amrit Kal? What are we talking? And to have people on national TV, with respect to the earlier speaker who's a boxer, to come and say, it's a balancing act. It's not a balancing act. It is in favor of the government, and the government is spreading lies. It is talking through sources. Why can't the government come to Neha and say what the problem is? Why do they have to speak through sources? And Neha, I know you will give them a platform because you're a fair journalist. You will hear them out. Why are they spreading these rumors? I think that's the question to be asked.
Why are they spreading these rumors? Okay, my job really here is to put out all the facts
Yes.
that exist before us. So let me give you one more quote from government sources, Tehseen Poonawalla, and then you are free to respond. Government sources say, going by the version of the wrestlers, they're not trusting the legal system or the police investigations, nor the findings of the oversight committee. They don't trust anyone. The wrestlers have been saying since they have won medals for the country, their word must be taken as the gospel truth and action must be taken against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh purely on the basis of their statements. However, the law is following its course. They are part of the same legal system. The laws apply equally to everyone. No one is above the law and they have to go through the same system. Just because they have won medals does not mean that the law does not apply equally to them, say government sources. Your response?
Okay, so I totally agree with everything that these sources are saying, but let's go through the facts. If your producer can also cut to me, because I'm getting very disturbed, I'm not able to speak and put out the facts, so I can also speak while this visual's on the parallel line. Yeah, thank you. Let's go by what the facts of these government sources are saying. They said, look, the investigation is on. How did the investigation started? They went to every single forum, including the police. None of them registered an FIR. There are multiple Supreme Court judgments that make registering of an FIR mandatory. Nobody did it. Tell me, Neha, as a very reputed journalist, how many cases do you know that people have to go to Supreme Court to register an FIR? Remember, this FIR was registered in the Supreme Court when Kapil Sibal went there. It wasn't registered before that. Is this law of the land? FIR should have been registered. What happened to the report by Mary Com, which was supposed to be put in public domain? Why is that report not yet out? Remember, PT Usha met these athletes. The report had to come out by the IO investigation. What's happened to that report? That's conveniently been thrown in the Ganga or the Yamuna. Let's come to the next point. After an FIR registered, they are saying that the investigation is on. A statement has been given under 164 before a magistrate. 164. If anyone lies under a 164, Neha, you know the consequences of it. I know the consequences. Can anyone lie under a 164 before a magistrate? That sentence, that statement before the magistrate is exactly like the original complaint. Now I'm repeating my question. How many other cases you know of a POSCO Act accused not being arrested after 164 statement has been given? Give me another case and I will say that the law of the land is being followed. Tell me where is the report by Mary Com. Tell me why did the police in the first place not register an FIR? Now I'm asking you, how many days has the police investigated or interrogated Brij Bhushan? How many times has he been interrogated? Can we have the answers to these questions? I'll tell you, he's been interrogated as much as the knowledge of the Ministry of Finance and Economy, zero.
Okay, the government source is again saying that he deposed before the oversight committee, but yes, it's true.
Oversight.
He's not been interrogated by the police. That is correct. That is correct. You know, they often say, show me the man and I will show you the law. Is that what's happening in the case of Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, a 6-time MP belonging to the ruling party, and the man who insists on calling himself the president of the Wrestling Federation of India, even though technically his term may have ended this month. You know, a journalist referred to him recently as the former president. He corrected the journalist saying, I am still the chief. Gaurav Bhiduri, let me come back to you. You know, क्योंकि आपने ये कहा था, and Tehseen has been responding to some of your arguments. Gaurav, आपने कहा था कि, you know, the law is taking its own course. FIR हुआ है, वक्त लगता है इन चीज़ों में, wrestlers को इंतजार करना चाहिए. सवाल ये उठता है, तहसीन पूनावाला ये कह रहे हैं, रेसलर्स का ये कहना है कि हम कब तक इंतज़ार करें. जब कमेटी बनाई गई तो उसकी रिपोर्ट सरकार को तो सबमिट हुई, स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्ट्री को. इट्स नॉट बिन मेड पब्लिक येट. आज तक हमें नहीं पता उस रिपोर्ट का क्या हुआ. FIR तक रजिस्टर नहीं कर रही थी दिल्ली पुलिस ब्रिज भूषण शरण सिंह के खिलाफ. तब जाके FIR हुआ जब मामला सुप्रीम कोर्ट में पहुंचा और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आदेश दिए दिल्ली पुलिस को. पॉक्सो का मामला है, बहुत सेंसिटिव मामला माना जाता है. एक माइनर है हु हैज अक्यूज्ड दिस मैन ऑफ सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट. ज़्यादातर पॉक्सो केसेस में देखा जाता है कि अक्यूज का अरेस्ट होता है. इस मामले में तो दिल्ली पुलिस ने ब्रिज भूषण सिंह को इंटेरोगेट भी नहीं किया, अरेस्ट करना तो दूर की बात है. और तो और कहा जा रहा है कि कम से कम वो रिजाइन तो कर सकते थे. एटलीस्ट ही कुड हैव स्टेप्ड असाइड टू अलाउ अ फेयर प्रोब. वो इंसान कह रहा है मैं आज भी प्रेसिडेंट हूँ रेसलिंग फेडरेशन का, क्योंकि नए इलेक्शन तो हुए नहीं है. सवाल ये उठता है गौरव कि ऐसे में फेयर प्रोब होगा कैसे? बिकॉज एवरीबडी, यू नो, द परसेप्शन दैट्स बीन क्रिएटेड इज that this is all completely one-sided. It's loaded in favor of one man and against these wrestlers who, by the way, are India's heroes.
Yes, ma'am. See, in the beginning, like you said, it was even we were not that much following it, ma'am. But yeah, starting May, it was looking like one-sided things were going. But when the this FIR was registered, ma'am, after that, which like because I'm also not an expert, ma'am. I don't know the law, like you said, the POCSO Act में like direct उनको arrest करते हैं and all.
अगर हम
But
पॉक्सो
the
एक्ट
knowledge,
की बात छोड़ भी दे गौरव, मैं सीधा सा सवाल कर रही हूँ, क्या आपको लगता है कि ये जस्टिस की तरफ जा रहा है मामला? जैसे मैंने कहा, एफआईआर भी रजिस्टर नहीं हो रहा था जब तक सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आदेश नहीं दिए दिल्ली पुलिस को। आज तक दिल्ली पुलिस ने ब्रिजभूषण को इंटेरोगेट भी नहीं किया है। आज भी वो रेसलिंग फेडरेशन के प्रेसिडेंट बने हुए हैं। अरेस्ट तो बहुत दूर की बात है। जो कमेटी बनी थी उसकी रिपोर्ट आज तक पब्लिक नहीं की गई है। अगर आप सिर्फ इन फैक्ट्स को देख लें, लॉ को छोड़ दीजिए, तो आपको लग रहा है कि ये जस्टिस हो रहा है इस मामले में?
yes, ma'am. In that case, yeah, they should publish their report and all. I don't know. They must be see behind everything there is something. Okay, like अगर उन्होंने ये डिसीजन लिया तो means you can question them, you can file an RTI and all whatever, means there are so many laws, like you can just means follow that. But right now, like if you ask me, I've been just following it since like 28 May वाला event के बाद से I was like coming to and like sharing my views, ma'am. So in that he was saying we have right to protest, ma'am. Teshin Bhai was saying that we have right to protest, ma'am. But on that day, ma'am, it was our like new parliament ka inauguration tha, and police did not give any permission, ma'am. So see, I'm an athlete, I can talk in favor of them, but being a citizen, ma'am, I'm just talking like that, ma'am. Okay, उनकी कोई permission नहीं दी गई थी, कोई nothing was given, and we can see the videos, ma'am. They were just climbing those barricades and all. Okay, I'm totally in favor. Again, I'm saying, but things went wrong from our side also. In the starting, I said it was from the police also, things were going wrong. From our side also, things were like it was our fault also, ma'am. So in that case, they were not having the right to protest at that venue, ma'am. Okay, that's why all that happened, and which was very disheartening, ma'am. We can't even imagine that like the champions of our India, like of the world, ma'am, they were being dragged. So it was very like very frightening, ma'am. But again, like I said, the government should they should come up with something like at least हमारी इज्जत बच जाए और सरकार की भी इज्जत बच जाए, because we have believe in our constitution, ma'am. So I just wish कि जल्दी जल्दी कोई ना कोई
इज्जत बचाने की बात कर रहे हैं. You sound like you saying there should be a face saver for both sides, but you know, I'm not sure, Gaurav, if this is about finding a face saver. Isn't this a fight for justice? सवाल ये उठता है कि इज्जत बचाने की बात तो ठीक है, लेकिन ये जो पूरी लड़ाई है ये जस्टिस के लिए है, ये इंसाफ की लड़ाई है. ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि हमारा जो ऑनर है उसको हम कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं कर सकते, हम अपने सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट को कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए हम इन मेडल्स को गंगा में फेंक देंगे. तो फिर यू नो, जिस तरह के आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ की बात कर रहे हैं, वो कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ कैसे निकलेगा जब सरकार भी अपनी जगह अड़ी हुई है और ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि हम जस्टिस की गुहार लगा रहे हैं, कोई हमारी बात सुन ही नहीं रहा है.
Ma'am, see, जब तक तहसीन भाई was also saying like the symbols are and all, because of them the fire was registered, ma'am. I mean it's fine, ma'am. It was Delhi police faults, ma'am. FIR register हो गया, ma'am, and everything going process. अभी मैं आपको बता रहा था एक वीडियो जो चल रही थी अभी आजकल अभी फेसबुक पे everywhere, ma'am. The guy was giving interview. It means the things are processing, ma'am. Okay, that guy was saying like the SI and those police and all, they came to investigate. So it's in process, ma'am. Okay, अगर आप चाहो like अभी we just like directly go and arrest, ma'am. Like you said, both the parties are very strong, ma'am. We athletes, we are world level athletes, ma'am, and the other guy is an MP, ma'am. Okay, so even the government can't take a small chance. Okay, they can't just simply go in this favor or that favor. Starting May, like he said, yeah, they were delaying. It was in Brij Bhushan's favor, okay. But now, like I see, like a normal citizen, I see things are processing, ma'am. अभी वो वीडियो में उन्होंने खुद ने बोला है उनके घर पे इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए लोग आए थे. I don't know the reality, ma'am. It's just whatever coming around me. I'm just sharing my views, ma'am.
No, you are well within your rights to share your views. We also have, you know, an update for our viewers before I go back to Tehseen Poonawala. We are given to understand that Naresh Tikayat, the farmer leader, reached Haridwar some time back, met the protesters, the protesting wrestlers, and he took the medals from those wrestlers, urging them not to immerse the medals into the river and seeking 5 days' time from them. Well, so we'll really have to wait and see what changes in these 5 days. But Tehseen Poonawalla, respond to some of the points that Gaurav Biduri has made. Gaurav Biduri says what happened on Sunday, not far from India's parliament, was unfortunate. And of course, we saw heartbreaking images of those champions, those medal-winning wrestlers being roughed up, manhandled, pushed around by the police. But he says, they should not have tried to march towards Parliament. That was the day our new Parliament was being inaugurated. They had no permission. They violated the law. He says, process chal raha hai. They should wait to see what comes of it. Your response?
There are two things that Gaurav has spoken about. Point number one, he spoke about what happened on Sunday when India's new parliament, not any individual's parliament, was inaugurated, and two, the process of the law.
India's, yeah.
That's true. Thanks, Gaurav. So let's address both of these. Since Gaurav said that the process of the law is being followed, let me ask, if the process of the law is being followed, it's been over a month and a half since the FIR is registered. Why is the accused not even being interrogated, forget being arrested? Is this the process of the law? Gaurav, I'm asking you with a lot of humility. If this was one of your family members and you had gone to file an FIR and the accused was not even being interrogated, how would you feel? You would say it's a balancing act? Don't do this. How is this the process of the law? This is not the process of the law, Gaurav. Second, Gaurav said, India's new parliament was being inaugurated. What are the first three words of our constitution, Gaurav? The first three words of our constitution is we the people. Not I, the Prime Minister. Not I, the Home Minister. We, the people. This country belongs to us, the people. To you, Gaurav, to me, to Neha. This is our country. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, first three words in the Constitution is we, the people. Who does this parliament belong to? It belongs to us. What use is it having the greatest parliament in the world, the most fancy building, if we don't deliver justice to the weak? What use it is being the greatest superpower in the world that can send missions to Mars if we can't give fellow citizens few kilometers away dignity? I'm asking you, Gaurav. I'm asking you, Gaurav, if instead of these girls were people on various sports bodies, children and MPs, across party lines, would they have been beaten up? Are they ever beaten up? Would Jai Shah, son of Amit Shah ji, be stopped from going to parliament? Would Brij Bhushan ji, oh, he was in parliament, stopped? Would Ashok Gehlot's son be stopped and beaten up? Who are these people? They are on the sports bodies because their fathers are politicians. Why, Gaurav? Why don't you get the same respect and I get the same respect that a Jai Shah gets? Why don't these athletes who've got medals for this country not get the same respect? Why is the difference? Is this why we became independent? That some people can rule over us? Nehru says in Tryst with Destiny is to wipe every tear from every eye is the goal of our independence. Is this the goal of our independence? What were we celebrating? In Manipur with automatic weapons from across the border, innocent citizens are being killed. On a drug route that is going on in India, between India and another country. Out here, athletes are being beaten up. And we are celebrating a new parliament building being inaugurated. Is that why Gandhi, Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel and Ambedkar fought for our independence? Ask yourself, Gaurav, and when you get the answers to these questions, they won't be a balancing act.
Okay, Gaurav, you
not
want to
about
respond to
balancing,
that?
but
And also, I want to give you and our viewers an update that the wrestlers have given the government a 5-day deadline. As of now, they are not immersing their medals in the Ganga. These, however, may be returned to the government. And if the government refuses to act even in the next 5 days, the wrestlers say they will go on a fast unto death. Gaurav, your thoughts on that, and please respond to what Tehseen said earlier.
Yeah, see, like Tehseen Bhai said, like, अगर मेरी family के साथ this thing has happened, of course I want things to get as soon as possible solved, ma'am. Okay, in their case, I did not say like jaldi na ho. I did not say that. I said simple thing, ma'am. Like, because the case is very crucial, ma'am. Okay, if they are delaying, I'm again saying like, उनको जल्दी करना चाहिए because it's been too long, ma'am. In the yesterday, which I'm concerned about, like about the parliament. Parliament, yes, it's for us, for India's parliament, okay, not a PM's or any BJP party's parliament. But things were going smooth when they were at Jantar Mantar, ma'am. They knew the date of the inauguration of a parliament. Why did they choose that date to go, and that to means protest near the parliament, ma'am? अगर आपके घर पे कोई शादी हो, will you allow anyone to protest in front of you? कोई दंगा आपके घर के सामने हो? Man, no one wants that, ma'am. Okay, so just because of that, and again, like, man, law and order, we have to maintain. Okay, so if they were not given permission, why did they go there, ma'am? Okay, and they were crossing. See, we are strong people. Okay, we are, and I mean, why we were dragged is because we are strong, ma'am. Okay, we are athlete, and हमको वहाँ से हटाना is very difficult, ma'am. And again, it's very frightening to see that, ma'am. But why I'm justifying it, ma'am? Because हम दोनों से गलती हुई है. Being an athlete, हम athlete से भी गलती हुई है, मैम. Because we violated the law actually, because अगर हमको उनको permission दी नहीं गई है, तो we can't just simply go over there. No matter what was happening or कुछ भी हो रहा हो, but we should not go over there, ma'am. But we went there and we were just climbing those barricades and all. तो पुलिस कैसे हमको हटाती, ma'am? Starting में, of course, they would have said like, please don't do that. We are not, you don't have permission or something. But अगर आप climb करोगे तो उनको वहाँ से कैसे हटाएंगे, ma'am? You have to push them, ma'am. No, you have to use power to bring them back, because inauguration तो मैं parliament को हो रहा था, एक दिन छोड़ के next day कर सकते थे. If they wanted to protest, ma'am, they could have choose the next day. Why that very day, ma'am? It's just because of the opposition. Yesterday I said, ma'am, everything's got ruined just because the opposition got involved and all the politicians got involved in that, ma'am.
You're now blaming the opposition, okay, but you know, this is a fight.
Just tell me why on that very day, ma'am. On that very day, just wanted to go at the parliament only. उससे पहले they were at the Jantar Mantar. उस टाइम उन्होंने नहीं बोला कि let me go to the parliament. When there was the inauguration of the new parliament, तभी उनको जाना था. Tell me why. Ask Tehseen bhai.
Tehseen wants to respond. Okay, you are saying ask Tehseen. Tehseen wants to respond to that. Tehseen, they broke the law, says Gaurav. They had no permission to march to the new parliament. Why did they have to choose that very day to protest near India's parliament? What were the police going to do? They had no choice but to use force, says Gaurav Bidhuri.
Gaurav, with respect, I'm asking you to imagine a situation. You're riding your bike on a road on the correct side in the evening. You're riding your bike very correctly. You're following the law. You're riding your bike. You're wearing a helmet. A drunk guy with full speed comes on the wrong side of the road with absolute full speed. He bangs into your bike. Your head breaks. You land up, God forbid, your spinal cord breaks. You land up in hospital, very, very damaged. He's in an SUV. He's not hurt, but obviously you are hurt. And the police says, गलती आपकी भी है क्योंकि आपने इंडिकेटर नहीं दिखाया. वो गलत साइड से आया, वो स्पीड में था. He was driving fast, but it is an equal blame on you while you were on the correct side of the road wearing an helmet and driving slowly. But just because your indicator was not on, the police says it's both fault. Is that justified? And you've got damaged more than the other.
What do you want to?
That's
what do you want to state by?
Gaurav. Exactly what I'm saying. Your arguments are as benign and as weak as this argument. It's not both fault. One man is a powerful member of parliament. The victim is a young girl. Please, Gaurav, don't interrupt me. Is a young girl who was a minor. She's gone to every forum available to her to seek justice, including to Mary Kom and PT Usha. No one has delivered justice. And now today when she's protesting, remember, it's a minor. You are comparing it with the shadi in the house. A shadi in a house is a private function at a private venue. The government is not a private entity. The government belongs and is subservient to Gaurav, Neha and Tehseen. There's a difference between the two. Don't compare it to a shadi. Second thing that I want to tell you, Gaurav. Opposition क्यों बीच में आया? एक काम करते गौरव भाई, एक काम करते. मैं तो विपक्ष में हूं, मैं भाजपा के खिलाफ हूं, मैं बिल्कुल विपक्ष में. बंद कर दो जेल में विपक्ष को. Why do you need an opposition? फिर मीडिया को बंद कर दो, नेहा को भी जेल में बंद कर दो, सबको. देश एक ही आदमी चलाए, एक ही पार्टी चलाए, and we can rename our country the Democratic North Korea. एक ही आदमी को दे दो ना देश चलाने के लिए. Why do you have opposition? Opposition's duty is to raise voice of injustice. Did anyone say Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was unpatriotic when he came to parliament in a bullock cart to oppose computers? Did anyone say opposition is unpatriotic when they questioned the government on several things? business of why is opposition talking? It is the duty in a democracy for opposition to talk. It is their duty, and without an opposition and without a media, you don't have democracy. बंद कर दो, और उससे आप बंद कर रहे हो तो आप चेंज कर दो। भारत के संविधान के पहले 4 शब्द जो है, हम भारत के लोग, उसको चेंज करते कर दो, मैं भारत का प्रधानमंत्री, कर दो भैया, कर दो, हम सबको बंद कर दो भाई। ये पुलिस जो लाठी मारी है, हमें भी मारी है, क्योंकि हम सरकार के खिलाफ बोलते हैं। सरकार के खिलाफ बोलना देशद्रोह नहीं है। सरकार की आलोचना करने से ज्यादा देशभक्ति का काम कोई नहीं है। आप पूछ रहे संडे को क्यों गए? क्यों ना जाए संडे को? क्यों ना जाए संडे को?
Not Sunday,
उसी दिन जाएंगे, क्योंकि because the parliament belongs to who?
Okay.
1 second. Who does the parliament belong to? It belongs to us.
Whosoever.
And if you don't, and if you don't raise our voices, where do we raise our voice? Where should we raise our voice?
You could have
I'm asking you, Gaurav. Hold on, Gaurav. Gaurav, I don't do debate like this. Because I want to go on Sunday. Who are you to decide what day I should go on? I want to go on Sunday. It is a democracy. You will decide what day I
oppositions
go on.
were there, no? They want to ruin everything.
And somebody being, and somebody sexual, and somebody, hold on, Gaurav, don't talk in between. Gaurav, don't talk in between. Somebody being molested is not ruining their life. Someone being molested is not ruining their life. A young 16-year-old girl being harassed is not ruining their life. An act which is the most stringent of acts being applied and yet not being interrogated is not ruining the life. Likes of Mary Com not putting out the report is not ruining the life. But me protesting is ruining the life. Wow, Gaurav. Wow.
Gaurav, let me ask you this question. Okay, Tehseen has made his point very strongly. Gaurav, of course, Tehseen says it is the right and the duty of the opposition in a democracy to raise people's issues, to take to the streets if necessary, and to protest when there is injustice. I, will go beyond that argument. As a woman and as a journalist, I want to ask you this, Gaurav. क्या है कि बहुत दुख की बात नहीं है गौरव कि जब कंट्री की मेडल विनिंग रेसलर्स, फीमेल रेसलर्स, विमेन रेसलर्स ये कह रही हैं कि उनके साथ सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट हुआ है, हम उनको ट्रस्ट नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन हम ये कहेंगे कि उनको बहकाया गया है, ऑपोजिशन इन्वॉल्व हो गई, वहाँ पे मामला पूरा गड़बड़ा गया, इन लोगों को मिसगाइड किया गया है, इनको मैनिपुलेट किया गया है। मतलब हम उसमें पॉलिटिक्स को कौन लेके आ रहा है? मतलब isn't it really sad, Gaurav, that we are not willing to believe these women? They are Indians at the end of the day and they are our champions. They are national heroes. इन्होंने आपकी तरह मेडल्स जीते हैं हमारे लिए, and it is so easy for us to accuse them of being political puppets. इनको हम नहीं ट्रस्ट करेंगे, इनके एक्यूजेशंस पे या ये जो कह रहे हैं इनके साथ नाइंसाफी हुई है उसको हम उस पे हम भरोसा नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन हम ये कहेंगे कि इनको बहकाया गया है।
मैंने इनके लिए अभी तक there is not a single statement I spoke against them, ma'am.
Yes, but आपने कहा ना ऑपोजिशन इन्वॉल्व हो गई, वहां पे मामला गड़बड़ हो गया। मैं ये कह रही हूँ आपसे, ऑपोजिशन को आप छोड़ दीजिए। What about what these women have been subjected to, what they've gone through and their fight for justice? आप ऑपोजिशन को छोड़ दीजिए, इन महिलाओं के साथ जस्टिस कैसे होगा?
Ma'am, that is the question, ma'am. Okay, so that is the question. I was just talking about ये जो आप जो संडे का भी जो इवेंट की बात कर रहे थे and all that. Why I pointed opposition? Because everything, because हम लोगों को देखना पड़ा वो दिन, मैम। ये जो भी स्क्रीन पे चल रहा है, we can never imagine this हमारे साथ कभी ऐसा होगा, मैम।
बट ये ऑपोजिशन ने नहीं ना पिटाई की ना, ये तो दिल्ली पुलिस ने की ना गौरव। रेसलर्स की पिटाई तो दिल्ली पुलिस ने की ना।
अब बोलिए, वहाँ पे परमिशन नहीं है, वहाँ से फिर लोगों को कैसे हटाया जाए, मैम बताओ। I said like they should find a means easy way to move them out, but अगर नहीं होगा, अगर वो वहाँ से नहीं हटेंगे तो हम कैसे हटाया जाएगा, आप बताइए।
नहीं, मैं आपसे दूसरा सवाल कर रही हूँ। आपने ऑपोजिशन की बात कर दी, आपने कहा लोग अपने अपने एजेंडा को चला रहे हैं। मैं सिंपल सा सवाल आपसे पूछ रही हूँ कि ये वो महिलाएं हैं जिन्होंने भारत के लिए मेडल जीते हैं, वो कह रही हैं उनके साथ नाइंसाफी हुई है, उनको इंसाफ चाहिए, तो हमें उन पे यकीन नहीं करना चाहिए, उनकी बात को सीरियसली नहीं लेना चाहिए?
मैम, उनकी बातों पे यकीन भी करना चाहिए और सीरियसली भी लेना चाहिए। शुरू में जैसे डिले हुआ मैम, उसके लिए मैंने बोला व्हाई दैट वाज हैपनिंग, बिकॉज ऑफ अपोजिशन इट वाज अ गुड स्टेप मैम, बट उसके आगे चीजें बिगड़ी। बट अभी भी मैं आपसे फिर भी बोल रहा था कि इसका जल्दी से जल्दी डिसीजन निकलना चाहिए, सो दैट ना तो हम लोगों को कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो, ना तो हमारी सरकार को कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, ना हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पे उंगली उठे, ना हमारे स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन पे। बिकॉज अभी अभी जो ना नैरेटिव लोगों का चेंज हो रहा है। शुरू में वी ऑल वर इन फेवर ऑफ आवर एथलीट्स, ओके, बट अभी जब से पॉलिटिशियंस आने लगे हैं, जब से ऑपोजिशन आने लगे हैं, इसका डायरेक्शन पूरा चेंज हो चुका है मैम। अब सब लोग जो हमारे साथ के लोग हैं वो हमारे पे उंगली उठाते हैं, तुम अगर देश के लिए मेडल लाए हो तो तुम अब क्या, तुम्हारे लेके जल्दी जल्दी केस सॉल्व कर दें। अब हम लोग क्या, हम जो नॉर्मल सिटीजन है, अगर हमारी तारीख चल रही है, हम पहली हमारी हियरिंग है, हम क्या बोले अगली हियरिंग में हमारा डिसीजन दे दो। सो दिस थिंग्स आई एम हियरिंग, सो आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट देम, अगेन आई एम सेइंग आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट माय एथलीट्स मैम। मुझे पता है कितना संघर्ष करना पड़ता है मैम बीइंग एन एथलीट, कोई नहीं जानता होगा आप लोगों में से, मैं जानता हूँ। सो आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट देम, मैं चाहता हूँ जल्दी से जल्दी डिसीजन हो, और क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, यू जस्ट आस्क द गवर्नमेंट मैम।
तो मैं आपसे ये पूछती हूँ ना, आप कह रहे हैं नैरेटिव चेंज हो गया। लेट मी टेल यू, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ पब्लिक आउटरीच अगेंस्ट द दिल्ली पुलिस एक्शन अगेंस्ट द रेसलर्स जो संडे हुआ। तो आई एम नॉट श्योर आप किस नैरेटिव की बात कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि जहां तक मैं जानती हूँ काफी गुस्सा है लोगों में इस बात को लेके कि हमारे मेडल विनिंग चैंपियंस की पिटाई हुई। लेकिन मैं आपसे एक आखिरी सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, आप कह रहे हैं जल्द से जल्द सोल्यूशन निकले, यही तो रेसलर्स कह रहे हैं। सोल्यूशन निकालेगा कौन गौरव, कौन निकालेगा ये सोल्यूशन?
Ma'am, that is the government. See, I'm not into the government. Okay,
It has
that
to
is
be the
not my
government,
forte,
right?
ma'am. Okay, it has to be the government, ma'am. It has to. Again, I'm saying, ऐसा कुछ जल्दी से जल्दी निकालना चाहिए, so that कोई चीज क्रिएट ही ना हो, मैम। The opposition won't get any entrance, कि उनको चांस ही ना मिले कुछ मौका, so that चीजें सॉल्व हो जाए, मैम। अदरवाइज यही सब होगा, मैम। हम लोगों को ये सीन देखना पड़ रहा है, मैम। हमारे एथलीट्स को इतना धक्का मुक्की हो रही है। अगर चीजें स्मूथली चलती, सब कुछ हमारी सरकार जो चल रही है, वो सरकारी बोल रहा हूँ, अगर वो भी जल्दी खत्म कर दे, और इससे क्या होगा, हमारे ऑपोजिशन को मौका नहीं मिलेगा और ये सब सीन देखने को नहीं मिलेंगे, मैम।
Okay, Gaurav clearly does not like the opposition being involved here. But Tehseen, wrap up this discussion for us. Gaurav says the narrative is changing. The wrestlers initially had public support and sympathy, but since the opposition got involved, they have lost some of that support. And now he says, you know, there are people who are saying, तो medal जीते हैं, तो इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी है that we can short circuit the legal process for these champions. At the end of the day, the question really is, Tehseen, what is the way out of this mess? Because the wrestlers are now saying that they might go on a fast unto death. I think they've set a 5-day deadline for the government today.
Yeah, the only way out of this is to follow the rule of the law. For the first 3 months that these wrestlers were protesting, they didn't even allow Vijendra Singh, another Olympic medal winner, to come and meet them because he's associated with an opposition party. For 3 months, nothing happened. Things only started moving when somebody from the opposition, namely Kapil Sibal, moved Supreme Court and got an FIR registered. Until then, nothing happened. The opposition has only supported them. It's the government that's beating them up. It's the government that's not following the law of the land. It's the government that's not giving them justice. And yet Gaurav finds fault with the opposition, not with the government. Truly, Achhe Din are here. But more importantly, here is the important, if this is Amrit Kal and not Amrit Khyal, if we have to do Beti Bachao, not Bhajpa se Beti ko Bachao, then the fact is just follow the IPC and what the IPC mandates. There is a 164 statement. The girl is a minor. Follow the law of the land. That is it. No one's asking for anything special because they are medal winners. On the contrary, these women are being assaulted, being thrown because they are the accused, because they are making allegations which they've also made in front of the magistrate. We are asking to follow the rule of the land, not beat up and torment women. That's all we are asking.
Do not beat up the wrestlers, follow the law of the land, says Tehseen Poonawalla. But really, what is the way forward now? Because it looks like both sides are digging their heels in. The wrestlers, for now, have set a 5-day deadline for the government. They are saying if this matter is not resolved, then they will now go on a fast unto death at India Gate in Delhi. Clearly, this matter is getting out of hand. The government needs to step up to the plate and act now. It is heartbreaking to see India's champions, medal-winning wrestlers, having to go to these lengths in their battle for justice. On that note, Tehseen Poonawalla and Gaurav Bidhuri, thank you for joining us on the show, and thanks to the viewers for watching. This is the story we'll track closely here on News9.